hard in. Hope you're ready to load hard in. Here we go. Boom. Hard in. I don't do this graceful stuff. I gave up trying to figure out how to do that a long time ago. Anyways, folks, I am Doell. Welcome to Gotham City tonight. Wasn't a lot of Batman news, and I was like, I could talk comics, and then I couldn't think of like a good comic book topic. I was kind of just like a little like, I don't know. I was a little lost today. I was just kind of like, I couldn't think of anything yesterday. Couldn't think of anything today. And then I was like, oh yeah, let's go back in time. Let's go back 20 years. Ugh, I don't like how that sounded. But yeah, let's go back 20 years. Let's look at some Mattel Batman back when Mattel first got Batman. Pretty wild stuff. Hang on, I'm going to get the old background music going today. How do we feel about that? That sounds fun. Right? Little classic solo Doell commentary music. Before we get started on Batman 2002, 2003 from Mattel, let's say hi to the chat. Let's see how everyone's doing. I'm certain there's going to be a lot of comments about last night's toy anxiety and the Geek Dad Life feud. That's going to be settled on cable, is it network television on ABC a week from this week, and then the following day, next Thursday on Hulu. Steve Harvey. I heard Allison Troy is a huge fan of Steve Harvey. Where you can watch Craig from Toy Anxiety and Jay from Geek Dad Life duke it out over some real Ghostbusters. God, nothing's more on brand for those two than that. Oof, gosh, a hot mess. All right, let's say hi to the chat, see how everyone's doing. Highly Articulated was here. This is like from early in the day. But yes, I do love Batman. That is not a gimmick. Randall is here. Yeah, that's right. The line was cool. Batman was the best figure because it was designed by the Four Horsemen. Correct. It's a beautiful figure. Toy Geekosaurus coming to us from North Carolina. My friend and yours, Allison Troy, who I out-trolled yesterday. So far, there have been 97 Batman, 53 Jokers, 40 Batwings, and a sack of orange rinds that transmute into Batman if you leave them under the moonlight for 17 hours. If that was a toy that existed, oh God, please give it to me. Skylar Davis is here. The beef is in the pasture. Nice. Agriculture. I like that. Nolan is here. Dorlaxian, right? Wendy's, where's the beef? Shiny plastic people. I love the Robin figure in this line. But I had to paint his highlights blue. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about his hair. Matt Bush. Thank you. Dorlaxian. I already gave him a shout out, but he gets another one, right? Why not? Kayla Silva is here. Yes, and please hit that like. Matt Bush Doell impressed me last night. Worth at least a Jeffrey. Thank you. Toy Art is here. Batman Versus is here as well. Red Menace, welcome Red Menace. Thank you for being here, hanging out. And who else? We got Steve Lawrence is here. Derek Hoover, Troll Toll, pay up. Jay Andrew is here. Hopefully no feuding there. If there's feuding, I don't know about it. My boy Johnny Cock is here. Toy Art is here. Yes, I'll figure out a good comics topic coming up. I know I got to get Attack Peter on at some point. Probably maybe Hector. I can get him as well. Talk about some of those Mondo Batman animated series figures as well. I'd love to talk to those guys about some comics and see what they're reading. I think it would be amazing. Too Bad Dad. Thank you for being here. Denzens. Gosh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hello, Doell. My Time for my favorite. I'm reading it totally different for some reason. Time for my favorite podcast. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for considering me one of your favorites. I love that. Brian Brink, Doell is the butcher because he sold the beef last night. Oh, thank you. Attack Peter. Print crew coming to take over. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. They must have finished last night. Thank you all, everyone, for being here from Attack Peter's stream. Welcome to Gotham City tonight. For anyone who maybe does not know, Attack Peter also has his own channel and show, and it's on Wednesdays. It's right before me. So I have AEW going on in the background. I got Attack Peter going on, and I'm still looking at my screen at work to make sure nothing comes up. Wednesdays are my busiest day, but they're also my favorite day. And be sure to check it out, man. He's doing live art on there. Gabby's on there too, and she's taking through, scrolling through all the news and keeping the show rolling. Bless her. Great show. But she won't collect Calico Critters for whatever reason. And I also want to give a shout out to Zombies. But I'm not going to tell you what they are. You got to tune into Attack Peter, find out what those are, because I tell you, I think we're all going to be collecting something new. Jamil Parks is here. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Chad Stewart is here. Jim Croddick, hello. Justin Nicolosi, I love the bit last night. It was hilarious. Thank you. And Attack Peter himself is here. Dude, get packing. You got PowerCon to leave to tomorrow. If you're popping in and out of the chat at all, because I know you're going to be busy getting ready for leaving tomorrow, are we going to expect anything new that we did not see? You don't have to tell us what. Just curious if there's going to be more news coming out this weekend from you and the rest of the team over at Mondo. Rich is here. Attack Peter rules. He does rule. I absolutely agree. Nicolos Deshahi? I don't know if I pronounced that. Can you spell that phonetically for me so that next time I'll get it right, and then I'll get it right the first try. No warm-up, right? But thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Attack Peter saying the AP crew is here to support. Thank you. Right? Larry Latham is here. Shout out. Nice. I love this. Meta Saw. Kevin is here. Right? Frost is here. Melanie M is here. This is great. Bo knows. Bo is here. This is great. Thank you so much. David, John, Jessica. This is great. Everyone's coming in to hang out. Pedals and stuff. Nerd Overlord. AJ, quick. Choose a side, Doell. You know whose side I choose? Batman's. Larry is here. Valerie. Eric. Unlimited power. Doell, there were so many other live streams happening. I am here. Toys, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to be here. You have so many other places to choose, and you chose to be here, and I appreciate that so much. Glenn is here. Dead Kirayama is here. Oh, man. What have you done, Peter? You got me so many names here. Thunderhausen is here. Sorry for being a child of divorce. It's okay. We all know I'm going to if the divorce happened, I'm going to go move in with Jay. He's got a superpower cyborg, right? Craig doesn't have one of those. Plus, if anything, they should be fighting and bidding over me. I'm Ectoglow Elite. I have all 5 Ghostbusters Ectoglows still on the card. Trust me. It's not who I want. There's a bidding war for the Doell. That's how this works, right? Honor Guard, DC. I have to think that last night was only some acting, and you were, either way, inclined to stay out of it. Oh, you're half right. Gotham Stalker is here. Awesome. Thank you. Yep. John, AEW, so good, right? It's always so good. I love it. Taylor is here. I'm going to give him a shout out as well. All right, everyone, let's talk some toys. Oh, I like this name, so I'm just going to say it. Nightfall is here. Right? I guess that GDLYHS is a thing. It's a thing. It's a fun thing, though. And I'm really, from all the stories I heard about the court case and all this other kind of stuff, I think everyone is in for an absolute treat. And Craig, you give Craig a stage, the guy is going to shine, right? Craig is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I want to talk about the year 2002, 2003. Evanescence, hot on the scene, right? Who else? 50 Cent. Oh god, I said that so white. 50 Cent, right? He was in the club around that time as well. Absolutely wild. Totally. Hey, I was in my early 20s. I am surprised I was even able to afford any of these toys when they first came out, but life finds a way. We all know this. Let's bring it up. This is the Mattel. Just to give a little backstory. So before Mattel got Batman, it's been in Kenner's hands for years at this point. All through the 90s. And now 2002 hits and DC leaves Kenner for whatever reason. Goes over to Mattel. Who also went to Mattel at that time? Four Horsemen. That was a big deal. They were with McFarlane for the longest time in the 90s too. And, here they are. They're also at Mattel. And so Mattel does the smart thing and they go, hey, maybe we should put like Batman and the Four Horsemen together and see what happens, right? Like, I think it would be... I think they did such a great job of that. Hang on, Attack Peter's got some, like, the Four Horsemen Batman SDC exclusive was my jam. Absolutely. Right? Like, that was so, like, all these exclusives. We're going to get into it. I've got figure-archive.net synced up and ready to go. But I did want to talk about, like, just, it was a basic line of just comic book figures. And to me, this is the last big line of Batman figures in the 2000s, where it was like the Batman animated series has just started, and these started, and we started to get like these comic book style Batman figures, a little bigger than even I was used to. Size matters, folks, and bigger is not always better. At least that's what I keep telling myself in regards of action figures. But these are great. These are absolutely great. This is just look at that, right? It looks like Batman. Nice big chunky belt. So good. And what really got me going when I was like, at this point, I'm like, what, 22, 23? And, we're getting that, like, that Tim Drake Robin, right? Damien's not even a twinkle in Grant Morrison's eye at this point. And we're getting just a really, really, really good Robin figure. And that, to me, at that time also was rare. Like, we haven't seen a good Robin figure like that since 1992. And kind of our first dabble into getting like a Nightwing figure. That was not the animated version. This was a comic style. Look at that. The stripes, right? Finger stripes. Nightwing. Look at that. I used to have hair like that. Can you imagine? God dang it. Not black, but I mean like that shaggy mop. That used to be me. But this is again, great figure. And I just want to get into this line because they did so much cool stuff. And I love it. Hang on. We got one here. Johnny Cog. Doell, are you gonna get Kaijo Safubi Big Tails Bam? I am not going to go that route. I am going to stay in my lane. And I am already in like severe space danger. I don't need to start collecting kaiju. I think if I started collecting kaiju, I would be in serious trouble, right? Let's just see. It's just checking the chat here. Seeing everything is still, man, you guys really love that toy anxiety last night. Right? Toy, you totally spaced on this line? Well, we're gonna give you a little refresher course because I guarantee you're gonna want to get these. Bacon McShig, thank you for being here. Oh, hey, I have that Batman figure somewhere. We'll go get it, right? Graphic Knight is here as well. Thank you very much. You just got that new X-Men 97 Sentinel, pretty badass. I cannot wait to get those. That was like so good. Jamil Parks is saying, I feel like those sculpts would be more or less work today if they had updated articulation. Absolutely. I kind of felt the same way too, because I'm a big fan of like, I'm okay with this, where it's just kind of got the, I think this just comes from being a superpowers kid, where I'm okay when the arms don't necessarily have articulation, but they gotta have bending knees. The knees, right? You had a waist that's fun, and I'm so basic, right? I just have him just standing there. I could have him probably do other things, but nope, they all just stand. That's what I do. But yeah, let's do some quick little screen sharing here, and let's take a look at this line. And it was a pretty full line. Just doing some quick scrolling here, and there's a lot of European exclusives in this bad boy. Lots of vehicles. One thing Mattel hasn't done yet at this point, because it's all still fairly new. These figures are fairly big, so I understand why they didn't do it. But there is no Batcave. Not a damn one. Randall is saying something here that just caught my eye. I have a super articulated version of Batman 2003. It is interesting. Well, let's see if we can find that, right? Hank Bush 4, part 4. Are we going to get a single release of the Batman from McFarlane Toys, or do we have to buy the 6-pack? I assume they're going to re-release everything. I mean, they're doing it for Batman and Robin, and they're doing it for the Nolan stuff. So I assume all those movies are all going to get their own wave. Just why not? If they're going to make those Batman, those are like, that's 6 waves out the door. Easy peasy. And if they do make Batman, like, I'd actually, to be honest, I'd rather buy all the villains than all the Batmans. I think that would be super awesome to have. But let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at some of these sculpts. There's a lot of these figures I did not have. Again, you're a student, you're poor, you're lucky to eat when you're a student sometimes. So you do kind of miss out on some of these, like this Bane. This Bane is amazing, right? And he was a nice, big, chonky boy. Like, this is great. Like, this is the stuff that I love to see, because this was so rare back then. And what was great about this line is that we still got, like, these, like, Acid Arsenal Batman, right? Like, we still got all this stuff. And it's so cool. Hang on, I'm going to, before we get into the Arctic one, it is, as everyone knows, I love cold weather themed action figures, right? And this Batman might be my favorite one ever. It is so good. It is so cool. And it just makes me wish it was winter. Because I love winter. I love fall. I love winter. That's the way to do it. That was this one here. Let's see. Oh, no photo for Arctic Shield. Well, good thing I had the figure then. Oh, I don't know if there's going to be a lot here for this. We'll try to go through as many of these as we can. Oh, the site is freezing. This is not good. The site gets very busy and it crashes a lot. But they did make Nightwing. And this is the basic Nightwing. You just take off all the little armor bits, all that stuff. I love it. The Robin was great too. That was like, again, I think the only ones I owned for the longest time was just Batman, Nightwing, and Robin, because it was like such a rare treat. Oh man, nothing, hey? Let's see if they got one for Joker. They do. Something a little bigger. Let's see. This quick fire Joker. This is such cool stuff. Again, these are all good, great, awesome sculpts. I do wish I could find bigger photos of these. It's weird because this line, because I think it did fall under the radar of a lot of people. There's not a lot of info on them, and there's not a lot of good reference to to find these figures, which is partially why we're doing this episode tonight, so that we can go through them and talk about them on here, even though it's on a very on a site that doesn't really like to work a lot of the time. So I'm really playing it close to the chest here. And what's so cool about this is that they did all the villains, or not all the villains. I don't think there's one woman in this line. Like, this is like the precursor to McFarlane, like 100%. 100 Batmans, no women. That's how this line went. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Right. Due to high traffic, that's probably just me. But look at that. Right in the first wave, Bane and Scarecrow, the Joker, like right off the bat. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. And again, we got, like, they made deluxe figures where it just came with so much stuff. But I love this stuff. I love this. This might be the super articulated Batman. Let's click on that. Let's see if any of this works. If not, that's okay. I'll just keep talking through it, right? But some of these names are great, right? Attack Armor Batman, Bat Signal Batman, Battle Disc Batman, right? Tech Armor Batman. Like, this is the stuff I live for. This stuff is so good. And then we've got the 2-packs that they came out with as well, which I thought was great, because we got that classic gray and blue Batman, my favorite. I always make that very, very clear that it's my favorite. Here, whoa, look at this. I think this might be the one, right? Deluxe Batman, big chest. It looks like he looks like something. He looks like he's drawn by Michael Turner. Right? You can't make it any bigger. I am so sorry. I really wish I could. But yeah, everyone, if you do want to follow along on your own page, you can go check out at figure-archive.net and just click on B and click on Batman, and then it'll be like Batman with Bat Signal on the package. And that's how you'll be able to follow along. As you can see, they even did some here where it's just like a total homage to Deep Dive and some of the Kenner stuff, which I think is absolutely great. This line was so much fun and kind of comprehensive. But let's go back to these 2-packs for a hot minute, right? Batman and Nightwing, perfect, right? And this is the only way you could get Superman, was in these 2-packs. Again, a world's finest pack. And I think at this time too, there was the Batman Superman comic that just came out. Ed McGuinness was doing the art for it. And that was such a great line as well. Right? So for anyone who's looking for recommendations of old comics from 20 years ago, I suggest World's Finest. Right? That old... There was no even a title to it. It was just the Batman Superman mashup logo. And that's all it was. But it's so good. It's so good. As you can see here, they did a quick change Bruce Wayne. We got our first Robin repaint. A different Joker. Same head sculpt, but with just different accessories. And Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc. Right? Our first Nightwing repaint as well. These are all great fun stuff. This nice bright red Batman. I got this green one here too. Let's take a quick look at those. Let's take a quick look. So this Mr. Freeze is amazing. This one, hang on. Who? I know someone, if Zach is here, Zach will be able to tell me which artist this is loosely based off of, because this looks like the Batman that had the super long ears in the mid to late 90s. Somebody help me out. The artist's name is right at the tip of my tongue. And but that's what this Mr. Freeze looks like to me. And I love this figure. It is well painted. It is well sculpted. That backpack is massive. And this is another one that I bought while I was a starving student. It's probably why I still keep it, around, and I still keep it on display because it just reminds me of times of, just trying to collect toys and do my thing. Boom, right? Kelly Jones. That's exactly who I am thinking about. And I love Kelly Jones's artwork. Kelly Jones is so good. Brian Brinks here. I have the complete run of the World's Finest. Great series. And here's another one from Thunderhausen as well. Public Enemy storyline. It's a classic. It's so good. It is so, so good. Derek Hoover. I was high on DC Direct at the time. Hey, dude, I get it. DC Direct at that time, they were doing stuff based off Alex Ross's artwork. In fact, I would have to say DC Direct was doing all their best stuff all the way until it closed, right? Here's another one of the Gimmicky Batmans that I love. Again, this nice bright green, this removable headpiece, right? These goggles, these backpacks. Yes, these things do shoot, but I'm not going to do that here. Right, these little gauntlet pieces. All this stuff kind of comes off too, so you can just have, I guess, a basic green Batman. But why would you want that? Nobody wants that. I love this kind of stuff when it comes to Batman. I think that I wish more toys still did this today. I wish like Spider-Man had a line where it did this. Again, I think Batman should always have toys that do this. It's super, super cool. I don't even know. I think toy companies say would be like, we can't do that. It's too expensive. The accessories are too much. So that's why I think we get so much just basic stuff. But I love this kind of stuff, right? Like it's right up there. Because I mean, look at this. Snap-on goggles for these guys. These are so good. These are so much fun. I'm so happy that I got into these. And here's the best part about these figures, folks. If you want to actually start like going back and collecting them, they're not crazy expensive. Like, I think some of the villains might be, of course. But if you want to go back and just start collecting some of these like Croc Attack Batman and Crossbow Batman and Electro Net Batman, I think you can still get them for like under $20 a pop on card. So I highly suggest checking them out, right? The Kelly Bane has a 60 pack. Jones. See, and again, I think that's this Bane up here, right? Like that is absolutely a Kelly Jones special. Absolutely, right? Green Lantern beef with Batman over that costume. Hey, Batman's been a Green Lantern and a Yellow Lantern, right? He's all about that. Graphic Knight, the stylized artwork on these figures is amazing. Yeah, agreed. I love it. It is my absolute favorite. Nope, this is the one I wanted. Thunderhausen. That would make a good Kite Man costume. Oh, man. I would love to get a Kite Man figure. Hell yeah. Right? So good. Justin Torres is here. Thank you for being here. I really like the look of these. Right? They're so good. And like I said, they're fairly inexpensive. Like you can go on eBay and you can probably get a whole whack of them for under $50. Check it out. Shiny Plastic People. McFarlane agrees we need as many Batman variants as possible. I agree, but I think his variants haven't been as fun as these, right? We're missing a little bit of neon. We're missing some glow in the dark, and we're missing giant clip on the wrist nets that launch, right? That's what we're missing. Derek Hoover, CEO, how many Batman figures do we need? Todd, all of them. Unlimited Power, where's the beef? There's no beef here. We are a beef-free zone tonight. Geek the F out. Thank you for being here. Please go check out their channel so you can get all your Star Trek needs. Had to come here to smack that like for this account. Let's get 69 likes, people. Let's do it. Why not? Let's get 69 likes. If we get 69 likes tonight, I'll do a giveaway next week. But we got to hit 69 likes. There's 66 folks here. Oh, 65. Never mind. My apologies to whoever that was for not being entertaining enough. Randall, all this led to superhero series of figures. Correct. All of this. This is the foundation for when Mattel started doing the DC superhero line. Maybe, I don't know if that's, I wonder if I can get that going. Hang on. Let's go back to these figures for a hot minute. But you're right. These were the precursor, and those figures are they can get crazy expensive. I think sometimes like the cheapest ones still go for like $40, $50. It's bonkers, right? Justin, well, I guess I'm going to collect these now. You might as well. Honor Guard DC, I have one of the Superman Batman 2-pack somewhere in storage. Get it out. Get it out of storage. You need it. Bureau of Print, thank you for being here. I think the 2003 highly articulated Batman was the Mattel superheroes that came out with the Detective Comics comic. I believe that sounds right. That actually sounds right. Toy art, that Mr. Freeze reminds me more of Brian Starfleet's cover of Mr. Freeze one-shot in 1997. How's that for a deep cut? That might even be the one I'm thinking of. But you're right. Brian Stelfreeze, he's amazing. Every time I go to his booth, I try to get something from him. He's so good. Unlimited Power, you're watching the Mario movie. Well, enjoy the Mario movie. It's beautiful animation. Those animators did a great job of that movie. Right? The S3 sculpts were right after these. Right. Yeah, they were. I do remember this. Retro Cabal's here. Dave, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Right? Let's take a look here. What else we got? And Stephen Lawrence. Hell, you got me back into Kenner Returns line. Up to 10 figures in one vehicle. Awesome. So fuck it. Let's do this 2003 Mattel line too. Do it! Like I said, these ones are inexpensive, right? And I think if you go to toy shows, you could probably end up getting these in a bundle, that kind of stuff. This is where I try to get them now. I don't, just because of Canadian shipping, we all know the story of that. I don't need to get into it. I try to stay off eBay because of that. However, if there's Canadian sellers, or if I can find these at a toy show or at a vintage toy shop, I grab them because they are just so cool. Shiny Plastic People, I picked up DC Superheroes Supergirl mint on card for $15 not that long ago. Maybe I need to start looking a little harder. Justin Nicolosi, just got my McFarlane Nightfall Batman in the mail. It might be my favorite Batman figure so far. Interesting. I've seen a lot of people talk about that figure. They're really liking it. Retro Cabal, Dave. Ryan, those X-Men 97 3/4 inch would be good partners with Spin Masters Batman toys. I think those X-Men 97 figures are 5-inch. I think they're just a little bigger. Unlimited Power. I'm watching Super Mario while wearing a Sonic shirt. Oh, dude. Legendary. That's a 90s feud if I've ever heard it. Let's keep scrolling down here just a little bit. I just want to talk about these 2-packs. The Arctic Shield Batman, Mr. Freeze 2-pack. Brilliant. Again, just more Batmans and Nightwings. Batman, Superman. This Batman Killer Croc, right? Start doing it with the villains, right? It's a great way to re-release these villains. And get a nice, good, gimmicky Batman along the way, right? So you get Batman, Joker, and then, of course, just a classic, basic, right? Batman and Robin, which I think this is the oh, God dang it, no photos. This site. But yeah, I think that this one here, this Batman and Robin, like if you were to like start late and you wanted to like jump in and start making your like just a basic Batman collection, bang, I think that's a 2-pack to go for, right? Here are the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that and the Wizard World ones that Attack Peter was talking about. So we got the blue and the gray. Again, beautiful figure. The Bruce Wayne head. on the black and gray. And then the one this is the partially unmasked one from the Wizard World. I remember this where he's like lifting up the mask, and I was like, hey, that's cheesy, but I like it. I think that's pretty cool. And here are some, they re-released, I guess, some more figures, but with a comic. And this is what I love about like page punchers from McFarlane, is that they are putting comics with the figures. Now, that's the one thing I loved about, there was like Marvel Legends when Toy Biz was doing it, like right when they were at the peak of their run. You open up that package and bang, you got a comic. And sometimes you got like a comic and like a print, a print, and that was like your packaging. Like, and to me, that was like so cool. Toy Biz did some good things, right? And then we've got the vehicles, right? Your typical Batman sculpted on a bike, rip and roar and go, and the Batmobile, right? I love it. A 2-in-1 Batmobile. I'll never say no to that. The other thing I love about this Batmobile, which makes it probably one of the better Batmobiles, it's a 2-seater, like it should be. That's how these things should work. Your Batmobile should always have 2 seats. Looking at you, Keaton Batmobiles. Come on. Right? But that's the line. I just wanted to go through it because I feel like a lot of people have not seen these toys, or maybe they forgot about them. And I just wanted to make sure people saw them. Try to think of what else there is that's happening. I want to see what else was happening. I don't know if it's going to be under Batman, the Batman. I'm going to try and see if I can find this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if we can look at some Batman figures. Like, what else would we be doing, right? Okay, that's that. Nope. Okay. Nope. Batman animated, Batman 2001. No. 2001 to 2013. That's wild. This is really crazy going down memory lane like this, just by looking at logos. It's always bonkers to me. Night Force Ninjas, everyone knows I love those. If you don't know that I love those, guess what? Now you know that I love those. Batman animated series, Batman Brave and the Bold. What was Batman Brave and the Bold? 2009. God. New adventures. Let's see here. Nope. Oh, there we go. See, same year. All they had to do was peek over this monitor. Now, this was the new WB cartoon of the Batman as well. Same year, around the same time. So we were getting comic book style figures and the new animated style figures. And it's crazy to me that this was the same time. So again, was a student. And on top of that, it took me forever to get into this series. I don't know if anyone watched this Batman series. I know if John Yerkeva was here, he'd be losing his goddamn mind. This was his favorite Batman animated series, but it definitely was not mine. And that this time as well, I was not ready or prepared to give up Batman, like the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, all those guys, like that, the Batman, the animated series, the measuring stick. And when this series came out, I wasn't ready for it, and so I didn't start watching it. And it wasn't one of those things where I was like, oh, it's not the animated series I know. It's just that it was so different, and they were still making, and they just started making Justice League Unlimited at the time. So I'm watching Justice League Unlimited. That's that's where my attention is going. And then even around that same time as well, then my attention was also starting to get put towards Teen Titans. And it wouldn't be until like what, maybe season 3 of the Batman is when I started watching. I'm looking at these toys. I'm buying these. Why haven't I been buying these? Right? I have this. Do you know why I have this? Because it's cold weather. That's why. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Look at that. Nice big bright yellow. See, this is what McFarlane needs to be looking at, right? These nice, oh, come on. Come on, website. Right? Look at these purples. Look at these reds. Look at these yellows. Look at these greens, these blues. Nice, bright, vibrant. Look, they even did like a Keaton style paint job for one of these. Right? That's not how he looked in the cartoon, but they did it. And I'm all for it. The villain redesigns for this show too were great. Like now, like once I was able to just kind of like let go of animated series and just jump into this, I loved all just doing something new, because I always appreciate that when you're able to take a franchise we know and just like do something completely new with it, but still feels the same. That's kind of what the new Ninja Turtles movie is like. It's something we've never seen before. It's completely new, but it's all stuff we recognize. And this is the same deal with this show. So if anyone has not ever watched The Batman, not the movie, but the animated series, be sure to check it out, right? I believe it's done by the same crew who did like Jackie Chan Adventures. I think it's that same art, same team, right? Toy art. How is he supposed to shuffle around Vicky if he's in a one-seater? Agreed. That's how I feel about, that's exactly how I feel about, Batmobiles. You need two, right? Stephen Lawrence. I enjoyed the Batman series. Caught it later though. Yep. Like I said, I was seasons behind. I think there's quite a few seasons of this show too. In fact, I think there's more seasons of the Batman than there is of Batman the Animated Series. Unlimited power. I want the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series figures. I have those. They are amazing. They are really expensive now. They are. You can't. So during COVID, because everything shot up in value for whatever reason, whether it be trading cards, figures, all this stuff, everything somehow magically doubled in price. So the Penguin, who was going for like $80 to $100, is now going to $50. I understand $50 is still expensive for just like a 6-inch action figure. And of course, Montoya, she was never fully re-released or just released in just like the basic line. She's always been in that multi-pack San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Guess what? She's still in the triple digits, man. I know people want her to get re-released. I don't own her. But I am also not going to be a hypocrite. I think she should stay that Comic-Con exclusive, and she should stay rare forever. And you know what? If I want her, I should fork over the dough and get her. That's it. Retro Cabal, I need a break from Craig and Jay. Oh, come on. Craig and Jay are fine. Craig and Jay are fine. Just take a deep breath and enjoy Steve Harvey next week. It's really, really funny. Trust me. Toy art. I just started in on the Batman last week. I'm liking it. I kind of hate the Joker redesign. That's fair. Zach, you're gonna have to message me on the side. Because when you get further into the series, we should just have you on and we should just geek out about it. Justin, which company is making the 5 POA Batman animated figures and Batmobile? Which company is making the 5? Oh, that's Mezco. Mezco is making those. Bo, as much as I dig the McFarlane Batman stuff, you're right. Would love to see more colorful variants like that. Always loved crazy color figures. Yeah, same here. I think they're so much fun. And I am still unsure where Todd kind of sits on, is he here for collectors or is he here for kids, or is he trying to hit both? If you're trying to hit both demographics, I mean, do some wacky Batmans. Like, he's got one of the most creative toy teams, right? Like, straight up. Todd, hire me. I'll help you out. Charlie Weaver, I loved the Batman. It was a slow burn for me. Yeah. Really enjoyed the final season. I did too. And I mean, the Edge from U2 wrote and performed the theme. Correct. It's a killer opening too. Again, they had to make it completely different from Batman the Animated Series. I get, because otherwise people were still, I was one of them. People were still comparing those two cartoons all the time. But they had to be different. And now because of that, I think it's very well remembered. I think same thing with Batman Brave and the Bold. So good. Toy art, this was all Jeff Matsuda redesigns, and yeah, most of them are pretty fun. That's it. Jeff Matsuda. Correct. I love this series. I actually love that cowl with like the straight curved brow. I dig it. Hug Nguyen. Hello all. Hi. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to hang out for a bit. Thunderhausen, the Man-Bat redesign on the Batman was my favorite. Dude, have you seen a bad Man-Bat design? Like, I'm not going to take away from the fact that this one is not a great design. It is a great Man-Bat design. But Man-Bat's amazing, right? Charlie Weaver, I forgot about Jeff Matsuda, right? So I did too, I'll be honest, right? James is here, just tuning in. This toy line is comic perfection. Agreed, right? If we're talking about the old Mattel ones, right? Like the 2003 comic ones, I think they're beautiful, and I think Mattel was hitting it on all cylinders. I think they knew that they struck gold with getting DC Comics. And I think they ran with it, and they ran hard. I think they did really, really good. Unlimited Power, the Joker, the Batman Joker design is wild, even more than the Suicide Squad. That is, that's a hot take. I'm trying to think if that is a more wild design. There's something really like Ed Hardy about the David Ayer, Jared Leto Joker. Like, that's the kind of Joker I would see in a 2002 Las Vegas Club, right? Like, that's 2002. Sorry, I should probably say 2010. When was Ed Hardy popular? Now I can't even remember. The old Ed Hardy parties, right? Ed Hardy party Joker. That's the way I've always kind of referred to him, right? And yes, that is a great box set. If we're still talking about the Montoya one, absolutely. Thunderhausen, Reggae Joker. It's the dreadlocks, right? I wonder if this will. He had curses. It had the curses still. Okay, because he had you're right. He had the long dreads, but I like the long Tim Burton sleeves and stuff that he had. I like the Catwoman design too. I was all down for that. Alison Troy has been saying this all day. So let's just give her a moment and let's spotlight it. Alison Troy does not think Steve Harvey is funny. And she's had to let everybody know all day in every Discord, the moment someone says they're going to be on Steve Harvey, doesn't matter what time of day it's been today, she's had to mention how Steve Harvey is not funny. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that Alison Troy does not think Steve Harvey has ever been funny. Just want to point that out there. Honor Guard DC. I don't have a lot of DC collectible animated figures, but I have Batman, Nightwing, and that Superman Lois Lane 2-pack that seemed to have shot skyrocket in value. You are correct. It did. And I missed out on that. That's one of the few figures I'm missing is that Lois Lane, which to me is like one of the biggest F-ups I think I've ever done in my collecting years. I love Lois Lane. Lois Lane is one of my favorite characters. We've talked about her a lot on this show, whether it's been myself or Lexi. And I'm still hoping that Lexi is able to just get she's got a young toddler, and it's she can't just drop everything and podcast. She needs to have a babysitter, and that's not always easy to get. You know what? when she has an opportunity to come back, we are definitely going to dive into My Adventures of Superman. I know I say that every week, but I'm really, really, really hoping that we can talk about it. I might do an episode without her where I talk about it, but I need an episode where she talks about it. It is hitting with her so strong. But I love Lois Lane, and I'm really upset that I missed out on that 2-pack because, man, it is amazing. I did get the Superman from the Justice League series, and I was hoping that they were going to do more Justice League figures, but of course, DC Direct, they closed down, so no Green Arrow, no Supergirl. Such a bummer. Toy Art, the question is, why was Ed Hardy popular? That is actually that is the main question, right? See, look at this. Allison Troy, I gave you the spotlight, and now people got your back, right? And I think that's important. So everyone, please support Allison Troy, right? Derek Hoover, right? Look, Allison Troy knows things. I agree. She knows a lot. Be sure to check out all her stuff on Instagram, and she has a YouTube channel as well. Go check out all her coloring. It's nice, soothing, and relaxing. So please, everyone, go check that out. Go like, subscribe, go follow. Do what you need to do. Check out Allison Troy. She's amazing. We're starting a detective agency with my wife. It's the whole thing, and she's right. Nice guy by all accounts. That's so funny. Red Menace, My Adventures with Superman is fantastic. Agreed. It's so much fun. It's beautiful. I think I have one nitpick about the series, and we'll get into it. Fuck it. Let's just do it next week. We'll do that. And I should check to see what do we have for likes. Let's take a look. I don't have my thing set up properly, so I can't see how many likes I got. All right. We are at 74 likes. Okay, so we surpassed 69. So thank you everyone who did like, and I will do a giveaway next week, and we'll talk My Adventure of the Superman. And that'll be next week. And we're just gonna do it. That's gonna be life. Randall Guzik, Todd should make a Batman subset from the Superpowers line. I would love him to do subsets of everybody. I want a subset of Superman. I want a subset of Aquaman. I want a subset of Green Arrow. I just want subsets. Teen Titans, do them all. But yes, okay. That way he can satisfy fans, more DC characters for Superpowers fans, and more Batman variant line with villains and vehicles. I think that would be a lot of fun. Don't forget playsets. We need playsets. Bacon McShig, gee, I wonder if Steve Harvey will say, what? Action figures, and then give a slack-jawed 100-yard stare for a couple minutes. I hope so. Oh, also, Wonder Woman needs a subset. She's got so many cool costumes and stuff too. Let's do it. Hung saying, fun. I literally just got back from storage and went through and saw my Batman Joker with the straight jacket from episode 1. That's awesome. Dude, that's so cool. Okay, Brian Brink, the Graph Master. Hang on. We could take these down here for a bit. All right. I have almost the complete run of the DC Collectibles animated series. I had no idea. I've got a gold mine packed away in those totes. Dude, what's another one that I got it. I picked him up as soon. Grey Ghost. He was the one that I picked up the day of release at the comic shop. And, he was one of those ones that I was always like, oh, I probably should have waited to get him. And I'm glad I didn't. Because he also skyrocketed in price. Randall, thoughts on Mattel's Justice League figures and early Batman animated series figures. Their Justice League figures are okay. So the articulation's not there, right? Like they'll have the bendable knees. They still stand almost too stoic. Where the Batman animated series from Kenner, like they could have done that. I guess they kind of did during New Adventures, but not really. Well, they did. Who am I kidding? Who am I trying to fool here? They totally did. But I like those figures. I think I got a good chunk of them, right? And there's some of them that have like I think Zatanna is a good example of a character that's just like, she's in that pose. You can tilt that arm all you want, but she's pretty much in one pose. But I'm glad I have her. I have her, like Black Canary, Green Arrow, Huntress. I have Huntress, right? Like, we were able to get so many characters, and like they had those 3-packs where you get like the Green Lantern Corps and all that. Dude, it was so good. Even their early Batman animated series stuff was good, because you got Alfred from that. You got like Joker and the Tux holding the card. I just feel like you got a lot of good stuff there, right? Allison, didn't you mention something about a channel membership? Yeah, I still haven't gotten that set up. I don't know what I'm doing. I tried getting it set up on the weekend, and I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing. And Jay and Craig were busy. They were plotting, right? So I had no time to ask. Such is life. Such is life. Alice Troy, also Todd needs to give me a white jumpsuit mod Wonder Woman Diana Prince. Agreed. Now that we're finally getting like a basic Wonder Woman, let's get the rest out. Right? Like, it's just, give me all of that. Derek Hoover to Allison, the old school mod white suit from the Denny O'Neil years and the post Infinite Crisis white suit too. Yes. Give me both. And give me the Black Canary outfit too, where she's wearing the leather jacket, the Jim Lee designed one, the one where she's like Wonder Woman cosplaying Rogue and Black Canary. This will go over very well. And it didn't, but I liked it. James, have we chatted about Legends of the Dark Knight line? Grace Elseworlds vibe of that line. Not yet, but we will. I do have a bunch of those figures. They're actually above my workstation here, and they're just all over with all the Pirates Batmans and what was the Power Guardian Batman's another one I got. All good stuff. And I do have some hot takes with that too, because I felt about them a lot differently when I was younger. And I would have been a teenager when those came out. And I had big feelings about those. And what's your feelings of Batman Beyond? Loved it. I remember vividly people coming over to my parents' farm, because we had like one of those big old dish satellites, and we got like WB, the American channel, at that, like, on the farm. So we were going to be getting the Batman Beyond on prime time, like that, the first episode, the pilot. And I had tons of people that I knew driving in from all over just to come to the farm, just to watch that first episode on prime time. It became a thing. And it was great. But that's another, I'll do an episode on Batman Beyond for sure. Brian Brink, missed opportunity, Doell. You could have hosted the Great Brief Reconciliation of 2023 and got thousands of subs. Maybe. I don't know. I like I love having those guys on this show, but that's I want to leave that as a Toy Anxiety Geek Dad Life thing. Well, that can stay there. It can stay there. Derek Hoover, the Bartlett Circle, the Barley Cycle Shorts and Jean Jacket Wonder Woman. Yes, that's the one I'm referring to. All right, sir. While you're at it, give me Artemis when she was Wonder Woman. Oh, dude. So I've got like the big thick trade where, oh my God. Why do I do this every time? He's a popular artist still today. What is his name? And he used to draw women. He still does. He draws women with like a tiny waist. Keep wanting to... God, it's going to bug me. But yes, him. Let's get figures made of his artwork. I always wanted... I can't even pronounce that right now. The Dota. But yes, that's who it was. And I had his Wonder Woman poster hanging up in my bedroom as a teenager. Randall, I always wanted a Hal Jordan Mattel Justice League figure from the animated series, but they only made less than 100. Todd, I need a Green Lantern subset with Oa. 7,200 figures, Todd. Guardians, Todd. Come on. Todd, I know you're watching. Let's do this. It is no, it was not J. Scott Campbell. It was Mike Diodona. It's he did. Gosh, why am I blanking? The 10th. So he did the 10th for Image, right? And he was doing Wonder Woman, and he did both of those titles in the 90s. And as he's gotten better at adding some insides to his women's so that they're not just like pencil thin, it's still very much the style. Scott Lobdell is a writer, James. Come on. Also, Scott Lobdell's also he's been I've met him a couple times. Nice guy to me. I've heard otherwise, but he's been nice to me. Bacon McShig, J. Scott Campbell, not him, but man, Tony Daniel was the 10th. Oh God, see, I'm getting all confused because everyone's stuff looked the same back then because they were all trying to be J. Scott Campbell. Gah, right? Allison Troy, come on, Todd, give me them Batman heads with the Green Lantern character as extra heads. Yes. Hung, what is the everyone most favorite Batman toy in the line? Mine is the reused Silverhawks Kenner Batman. Oh, yep, I know which one you're talking about. I have two of those. I think one's up there, and then the other one's with my full-on Kenner collection. But you're right. Tony Daniel, right? God dang it. There, so many of those guys, they all drew that same style for a while, and it still has me confused on who was doing what. Chad Stewart, did you know Superman and Lois show is pushed back to late 2024? Everything's going to get pushed back, Chad. Everything's going to get pushed back. And another big reason why a lot of stuff's going to shuffle around and get pushed back because of the strike is because they know that there's going to now, because there's now been, what is it? It's been 100 days since the writer's strike. So we haven't had anything in 100 days. So what's going to happen is, like, there will be, you know how this year there was like movie, like weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend? There won't be that next year. There's not enough stuff. So now everything's going to be carefully placed and timed throughout the year so that there's not a lull. And the studios don't want the lull, because if they get a lull, then they're not going to make the money and make their investors happy and all that kind of stuff. So they need to keep those investors happy. So they can't have a slow period at the box office. The theaters have to stay at least steady. So that's why next year, that's why when Sony did we're revising our release schedule, that's why they're revising their release schedule. Right? So just a heads up. So you're going to see a lot of stuff moving around for release dates. And just not even and that'll go for streaming, that'll go for TV, that'll go for everything. You're going to see a lot of stuff moving around. Allison, either Adam Hughes was having a bad day or he was the rudest person I've ever met in comics. Yeah, he was he just didn't care. He didn't even look up when I asked him if he would, hey, can you sign my Catwoman? Didn't even look up. He didn't look up until two of my female friends showed up and said, oh, hey, Ryan, how's it going? All right. And then that's when his head came up and he had every nice thing to say under the sun. So, Adam Hughes, everybody. If anyone else has had a different experience, let me know. Andy Silva, thank you for being here and hanging out. We're going to be finishing up here pretty soon. Right? But that's how it goes. Allison Troy, next summer Disney will finally release Star Wars in 3D. Oh God, I wish. If they do that, that's how they'd get me in. Son of a bitch, I hate that. Thanos Copter, thank you for being here. We're just about to finish up. Right? But thank you for coming in, hanging out. Brian Brank, funny. Usually people want all the lulls. Yeah, it's true. Right? He sounds like a sleaze. Is a little bit. Nightfall. Neil Adams is a dick too. I've had nothing but amazing experiences with Neil Adams, right? Like, rest in peace, Neil Adams. And you know what? He's like, when I used to cosplay, and for those who none of this will surprise any of you, I did cosplay as Green Arrow, and I remember just even walking by his booth, and he was just like, "Oh man!" He was so excited, and he was so nice. But I could see where, if people just have different experiences on different dates with different people. It happens, and I'm sorry that you had a bad experience with him. Right? That's unfortunate. Toy art creep. I never came across it at cons. Well, give it time. Gotham Stalker. Adam was cool when I met him. I have him draw a Batwoman sketch on a blank cover comic. That's cool. Right? Like I said, different. Never know if you catch someone on just an off day if they're doing something else. Allison Troy. Neil Adams was nice to me, and I was not visually pleasing that day. Chuckles Shirt, thank you for being here. Neil Adams was awesome when I met him, right? Neil Adams is a sweet guy. Deodata also drew, this is from Randall, by the way. Deodata also drew Thor and some Batman Snowman. That's what I'm thinking of, Thor. And Deodata did one of the most amazing Thor covers of all time. It is like still one of my favorite ones. And it's just like a close-up of Enchantress's leg. And it's kind of looking between her legs, and it's Thor on the ground, and I'm just like, that's a cover. That's how you're gonna get me to buy this. Jamil, I have had several positive experiences with Neil Adams. He was so giving of his time, right? That was my experience too. So I'm sorry that they fault had a bad experience. Unlimited Power. I watched Phantom Menace when it was re-released in theaters a few years ago. I remember I was ready to go to all of them again in theater. All of them. Dorlaxian. I met Neil, and he was an ungodly jerk to me. He only wanted me to buy his stuff and had no interest in just talking. Wild. Okay. Charlie Weaver. The Neil Adams Green Lantern and Green Arrow run was great. Agreed. The guy's a legend. I mean, right? Nightfall. He took my $20, signed my 251, and never looked up. Yeah, see, that's very similar to my Adam Hughes until women showed up, and then he was all for it. He was all for hanging out. Derek Hoover, Michael Turner, also rest in peace, Michael Turner, was incredibly kind. Alex Ross was super nice too. Jim McLaughlin from Wizard Magazine was sort of awkward. I have a feeling all those Wizard Magazine guys were a little awkward. I have a really, really big feeling about that. All right, hang on. Let's see here. Lifelong Toy Collector, thank you for coming to hang out for a bit. Love the chat going to bat, if you will, for Neil Adams. I hate to think he was a D. Yeah, right? Dorlaxian Jim Shooter was super cool. Jim, right? How awesome are some of these guys? Vickman de San Diego, thank you for being here. Great to see your name. Neil Adams drawings, his Batman, that sticks to me. Yeah, like for a lot of us, right? He's kind of that Batman you think of, right? But between him and Jose Garcia Lopez, you guys all know who I'm talking about. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. It's getting late, folks. Time for me to almost wrap up here. Johnny Cog, Bruce Timm looked like he was forced to be there at the time. I seen him at several cons. I was told that you had to see him right when you came back from a smoke. Okay, so because I have like that Batman animated book, which is like the Making of Batman animated series. And having worked in an old school, like when I was like in high school, I worked in an old animation studio. We're talking like the old flipping the papers, the whole bit. So I have learned how to talk to artists from working there and from reading that book, because everyone kind of took jabs at Bruce Timm of kind of like how just like he does not like, think of it this way. He is the comic book equivalent to Brock Lesnar. He'll talk to you if he has to, but he really doesn't want to. And even when he has to, he still doesn't really want to. So make sure if you approach him with something, keep it short, keep it direct, be clear. And this is what I learned about Bruce Timm. So when I met Bruce Timm, this was when he was at Vancouver Fan Expo. And his booth was right by our Ghostbusters booth. So this is when I was still doing like Ghostbusters bullshit. And he was, and I went to his table before we even opened. And I asked him about commissions. He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing commissions. Yeah, just sign your name, what you want. This is how much it's going to cost, the whole bit. So I do have a Bruce Timm original hanging in my place. And the next thing I did was just ask him, hey, do you need a coffee? Because I'm going to go get a coffee. It's on me. And he's like, yeah, I love a coffee. Right? Went, grabbed him a coffee. And I grabbed him a lighter. Because I knew about the smoking. Went and grabbed that. I said, just in case you forgot yours, here's an extra one. He's just like, oh, right? Like, this is like PA experience bullshit that I did with him. And because of that, he drew me a very nice Catwoman. I said that like it's dirty or something. But no, he just drew me like such a really nice picture when he's just doing headshots for everyone else. I got like this really nice picture of Catwoman. I did get a headshot of Catwoman as well. That was from another time, but I got it. Like, it was just nice. And then after that, that whole weekend, he would come by and he'd come and talk to me. And, I had no problem running coffee for the man. I had absolutely no problem running coffee for him. Randall, have you seen the new DC documentary on Max yet? I didn't even know there was one. I'll find it. Yeah, Johnny Cock. One time I saw Bruce Timm having a smoke in front of the hotel, and he was really pleasant to me. Right? That's all it comes down to. Unlimited Power. I met Kevin Conroy at Dallas Fan Expo. He was really humble and polite. Again, I met Kevin Conroy when he was here at Vancouver Fan Expo. Would have been 2020, so it would have been right before everything shut down because it was in February. And on the Friday night, there was nobody at the con. Just for whatever reason, it was quiet. And I just hung out with him. Nicest guy. Absolutely nicest guy. Thank you for being here, Cougar. It's always awesome seeing you. Chuckle Shirt. David Lloyd was the coolest, nicest artist I've met. That is awesome. Derek Hoover, Kevin Smith told me I was fucking funny when we signed my Green Arrow #1 at Chicago, Wizard World Chicago 04. Excellent moment. Wow, 04. You would have been a younger Kevin Smith at that point, too. That would have been fun. That would have been nice, right? That would have been nice to hear. Johnny Cock, Liefeld just looks like he's high on life. I see him. He is, okay, Johnny, here's another. I'm going to tell con stories here for a little bit, and then I'm just going to, get the hell out of here. So when I went to LA Comic Con 2017, all the Wizard founders except for Jim Lee was there. So all of them, Sinestri, Todd, everybody was there. And all of them were the nicest people on the planet. Every one of them. Wonderful, wonderful people. I love them all. Liefeld was the nicest, most giving person of his time, because it's LA Comic Con. Everyone that regulars LA Comic Con at that time, they've seen these image guys a million times because they're always doing San Diego. They're always in LA. I think they even live in LA. So they see them. So there's no lineups there. If they go to Seattle, the lines are huge. If they go to Toronto, the lines are huge because these are where those artists don't usually go there. So it's a big deal when they do. So you go to Los Angeles Comic Con, there's no lineups for these guys. And even Mark Silvestri, we just hung out. I legit took, his wife is stunning, by the way. And she just came out, walked the con with me. It was super, super cool. It was awesome. Liefeld is nothing but amazing. Also, check out Rob's Observations. Go listen to his stories. They're great. Toy Art, Bruce Timm was a grumpy Gus unless you caught him before the con while he was searching for all Shang-Chi comics. You're not wrong, right? I guess every time I really talked to him was like first thing in the morning. Derlaxian, I shouldn't have to jump through hoops to talk to someone. That's true. I agree. If you can't not be an ass while doing convention stuff, that I have no interest in speaking to them at all. And that is a total fair opinion and route to go. That is totally fair. But you know what? With Bruce Timm, that was my choice. That was my choice. Chad Stewart, what's your favorite comic book cover? Oh, that's a loaded question. Mine was Amazing Spider-Man 328 with him holding the Hulk over his head. McFarlane did that issue. Favorite cover. Dude, that's like... I'd have to actually think that's an episode where we just go through coolest covers. Delaxia, biggest dick I ever met was Tom Kane. Oh, just a Shatner little jackass. Oh, interesting. All right. Jeff White, thank you for being here. And am I imagining this? Or did Bruce Timm do new sketches of characters? He did. He did a lot. And that's how he made a good chunk of money, was by doing that. Made a lot of money doing that. Lifelong toy collector Frank Miller is probably the single most miserable individual I ever met in my life. SDCC 2011. It was kind of perfect. Okay, that's funny. Gotham stalker Conroy was always at MegaCon, gave free autographs or photos sometimes if you only paid for one or the other. Yeah, he was great. When he signed my Batman animated book, he was just like, he was so giving. Like I said, I'm such a loss. Derek Hoover, another super nice guy at the cons. Mark Singer. That is super cool. Derek Hoover and John Romita Jr., super happy, nice guy, real down to earth dude. That's super cool. He's getting a lot of grief right now just because he's drawing that new Spider-Man comic. Toy art, I will always be personable if you stop by my table at a con. Yeah, you gotta be, because you're selling you, right? Darlaxian, Peter David was cool as hell. Oh, that's awesome to know. Okay, sat and talked to me after the con was over for nearly an hour. Really down to earth guy. And yes, William Shatner is known to be a bit of a douche. It's funny you brought up Peter David because when I met Chris Claremont, also super nice, super giving dude. Just even though he had a pretty long line, the line was only long because he gave everyone time. And he wanted to talk about the comic that you were getting signed. And, I got the first appearance of Jubilee signed by Mike Claremont, and we talked about it, and it was super cool. He was a super cool guy. I just wanted to bring that one up. There's, like I said, there's been a lot of good experiences. My bad experiences are very minimal. I can only think Adam Hughes was probably the most disappointing one. Everyone else has always been like super nice. Like Tim Sale, super nice. Also, rest in peace, Tim Sale. Oh, man, we lost so many in the last few years, hey? And we've all been pretty lucky. I just met Mark Wade, Chip Zdarsky not too long ago, Teeny Howard, Hickman, right? Like they're all super, super nice people. Yes, and Chris Claremont lines are brutal. I happened to get there at a good enough time that it was a long wait, but it was not I wasn't at the back of the line, let's put it that way. But I did make an effort to make sure I went to his booth first. Another person that was always super nice was J. Scott Campbell. We talked about him earlier. Always a super nice guy. Yeah, I don't know. I should go through all my signed comics and see if I can remember some of the experiences with some of these guys. But this is it. We're at well over an hour. Next week. Oh, hang on. Glenn Fabry, super nice guy, right? Asking me about Mexico. That's cool. That's super nice. But yeah, this is it. We're well past over an hour. Let's call it a night. I will see you all next week on Tuesday. Toy Anxiety. And then, of course, I'll be here next week on Wednesday. And next week on Wednesday, let's talk about My Adventures with Superman. Let's do a giveaway. fuck it. Maybe I'll see if I can bring someone on with me so I can shoot the shit with this thing. If Lexi can't make it, I'll try to find a guest. But regardless, everyone have a great night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And let's go buy some Batman toys. Right? Let's do it. It'll be awesome. All right, everyone. Have a good night.